So we got in touch with Andrew. He came and met us on site, and we had a really good talk through with him what we had in mind and what was actually realistic, and he had some really good ideas for what we could do with the space, what we were likely to find, and some very realistic expectations of how much it was actually going to cost us. So we could then sort of go, yeah, okay, we're going to do this, but we're not going to do everything because we can't afford it. Set really good expectations of what we were going to find and how the process was going to work. We will find things behind the walls that need to be fixed, and there's just absolutely no way you can work out what those are going to be without pulling the wall linings off and finding out. With the house being 96 years old, Andrew did warn us there will be issues that we will find once we start stripping the walls and flooring off. So we were expecting to find some asbestos and some underfloor work that needed to be done. And he really did an outstanding job preparing us for that. Probably the biggest structural change was adding an extra metre to the width of the bathroom. We were lucky enough we had a reasonably large bedroom beside it. We could steal a bit of space, but that meant replacing a load-bearing wall and also ensuring that the piles underneath were up to scratch. There was a fair amount of work for the builders to strip and remove that wall and just move it out a metre. In the old bathroom we had a shower over tub and just a vanity in there. The toilet was separate. That was one of the things we really wanted to achieve, was modernising the bathroom, putting a decent shower in, and also making sure that the toilet and the shower and the vanity were all together, just to make it a bit more usable rather than having the toilet at the opposite side of the house.
The kitchen was definitely the project I had the most passion around. I love cooking and baking and things like that, and you know, your kitchen area can be a hub of your home. One thing I really wanted was to make a larger space in the kitchen, more bench top and a bigger oven for me to use. You know, adding that extra metre on was really good, and then as well being able to push out into the dining space too. It's just made the kitchen this bright, beautiful hub that everyone enjoys being in, and we naturally kind of congregate here during the day.
Working with RenoMasters made the project a lot easier. We had a couple of really nasty curveballs. We found a significant amount of asbestos behind the walls. Unfortunately, it's an old house. You find surprises, but Andrew and the team were always very upfront about what they'd found and how we were going to deal with it. And they helped us through that process, made it very easy to deal with.
I think one of the real strong suits with RenoMasters was the communication. It was incredibly easy to get hold of any member of the team, so it made you feel like you were in good hands, knowing what was happening in your home since you weren't there. I think the major point of difference and reason I have recommended people to RenoMasters is a couple of things. One, I think it is, you know, Andrew coming in, having a look and going, okay, these are my thoughts, and challenging us on some of the ideas that we may have had with what is practical and doable. The communication was another aspect as well, was, you know, keeping us updated at all times. And another really big thing as to why I would recommend RenoMasters is the quality of work and workmanship.
Definitely.
Yeah.
RenoMasters have made a fantastic job of rebalancing everything, squaring it up, lining everything up like it's a new house. You know, that's the stock and trade. Any builder should be able to do that, but where they've really shone is the finishing. It looks like a brand new 96-year-old house.
The contacts that they have, you know, with other people, like the recommendations for, you know, kitchen joinery and things like that, you know, worked out well. They've obviously worked really hard on forming good relationships with other businesses so that you, as the person wanting to make massive changes to your house and you may not know where to start, it's quite easy to be able to go through that process because they've got those contacts.
Renovations of this scope It is a big process. Andrew and the team have helped us through that. This is our first major renovation. They set good expectations of what needed to be done, and also pretty reasonable expectations of the time frame it would take to do things. It does take a while, especially once you start dealing with planning and consents. That all adds to the time, but RenoMasters were very upfront about that. We knew what we were getting in for when we started up. That's why they're good to talk to.
The kitchen I've gotten has really exceeded my wildest dreams. I absolutely love it. I love being in the kitchen and how usable it is and how good a job that has been done in here as well. And just being able to come in here and move around and cook and bake is, yeah, it's pretty fantastic.